you for joining the Career Center session this morning. My name is Alicia Jones, and I am a career coach with the Pomerantz Career Center. And today we'll just talk a little bit about some of our resources, the different things that we offer, things that you can share with your student, or if you're a student yourself, things that you can take advantage of, and things that you can do early on, even that first semester that you might be on campus. So if you have been to campus before, the Career Center is located in the Pomerantz Center building. So on the first floor is the Admissions Visitors Center, and then the Career Center is on the third floor. So we work with almost all undergraduates on campus. You'll see the colleges that we do advise on the slide there. The only students that we're not working with are students in the College of Engineering. They have their own career services office, but all other students, all other majors, we do work with. Now, the Tippie College of Business, they also have their own career center, but those students can choose which career center they want to utilize, and they can certainly use both of our offices. We also work with all class years, so first years through seniors. I think it's a common misperception that the Career Center is only working with older students, that we're only preparing students for those full-time jobs after graduation. And that is definitely not the case. We love it when students visit us early, visit us often, start connecting with our different services and resources. That essentially gives students the time to really plan out some of those things that they want to do and really maximize their time while at Iowa so they can start gathering those different experiences and building their skill set. So we like to see students progress through these steps that you see here on the slide. Certainly as students are coming into the university, a lot of them will be in that explore stage. And that goes for students who have that major in mind, and now they're just wondering what they might do with it. And certainly those students who might be a little bit more open. Maybe they're not quite sure where to start with some of those different major choices and career paths. And we're certainly able to assist students that are falling into both areas. Some of the things that we might recommend for a student who is in that early stage of career exploration, we might offer a student to take one of our career assessments. This can be a great first step to take for students to really start identifying where their interests are and seeing what occupations align with who they are. We also might talk to a student about the advantage of getting involved on campus or in the community. These can be great ways to really allow students to explore where some of those career interests might be, get involved by doing some things, and it's just a great resume builder too. We also talk to students about having a job shadow or an informational interview. This is just a fancy term for having a conversation with someone who works in a profession of interest to them. And we can certainly brainstorm ideas, where to look. How do they ask someone for a job shadow? How do they set up an informational interview? What questions are appropriate to ask? So again, these are all things, all conversations that we're having with students on a pretty regular basis. Our main goal is that by the time students reach graduation, that they feel ready, they feel prepared, they feel confident, and they feel excited to take that next step. I just mentioned some of the career assessments that we have available. There is one that a lot of us like in the Career Center. It's called U-Science. It's not connected to the field of science at all. It's more the science of you. So what it does is it takes a look at a student's career interests, but it also examines their aptitude to do certain tasks. And so the occupations that will appear in their results are ones that are good fits for things that they enjoy, but also things that they have more of that natural skill or ability to do. And so this can be, again, a great first step for a student who maybe is feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There's obviously lots of choices to make here at the university. Certainly, the number of majors that we have might be a little anxiety producing for students. And so this is a great way to narrow some of those interests, clarify those interests a bit more, and see some of those occupations that not only fit things that they enjoy, but things that they can do well. And we would say that's what makes a good career fit. And so U-Science is something that they can access right now if they want to. They don't have to wait until the start of the semester to take U-Science. It's a completely free assessment, and you can find more information about it on the Career Center website. If you put U-Science in the search box there, you'll get information that pops up, and there's a sign-up form that students can complete. At the Career Center, we advise by what we call career communities. You can think of this as career fields, broad career industries that students might fall into. And so these are loosely aligned with the majors that we have here, but we don't advise by major because we want students to think a little bit more beyond that. A common question we get is, what can I do with my major? And we're certainly equipped to answer that. We can introduce students to different employers and industries and job titles, but we also want students to think a little bit more about what's of interest to them. Where do they want to apply their skills? What work environments or settings are going to be the best fits for them? And so we know once students spend a little bit more time thinking about what is it that they enjoy and where do they see themselves in the world of work, that they're making just better, more informed decisions as to what major or career path are going to be some of those best fits for them. So all of our career coaches work with the different career communities that you see here. For example, I work with students who are interested in health and wellness, environment and sustainability, and science research. So on any given day, I can meet with a first-year student who is maybe exploring options in healthcare and providing resources for them to learn more. I might meet with a sophomore who is preparing their resume to apply for a campus lab position. I might meet with a junior who's looking for environmental advocacy or environmental education internships, and certainly working with those seniors that are nearing graduation and thinking about some of those things that they need to do in preparation for that. So our conversations vary every day. We see a variety of students, and certainly we're always keeping in mind how we can meet that student where they're at, definitely providing information that meets those immediate needs that they have without also maybe overwhelming them either. Students can schedule a meeting to meet with a career coach on MyUI. We offer 30-minute appointments. Students can see us either in person, via Zoom, or on the phone. One immediate thing that students can do to get started on their career development is to access their My Career Path. And so this is a completely online program, and it allows students to see what are some of these next steps that they should be thinking about in terms of that career development. So based on their career interests right now, based on some of those maybe career things that they've done so far, this would provide some suggestions as to what they can think about next. What are some of these things that should be on their radar screen? So that suggestion might be to attend one of our career fairs. It might be to look for a campus job. It might be to prepare their resume, or maybe to take one of our Career Center courses. So it's a very easy, non-intimidating way to get started with things. And again, this is something that they can access right now. They don't have to wait until the start of the school year. We've got information on our website for that, but that can definitely be a great first step. And again, completely free for students to do that. I just mentioned Career Center courses, and we do have a variety of academic courses for elective credit. So these classes range anywhere from 1 to 3 semester hours of credit. They focus on career exploration, leadership experience, professional development. So a little bit of something for everyone, no matter where they might be in that career development process. A lot of our classes don't run the full length of the semester, so they can be good fits for someone who has maybe dropped a class midway through the semester. They're looking for something to replace that with. Maybe one of our 1 semester hour, 7 week courses could be a great fit for doing that. Or if they have maybe a hole where they've got 2 semester hours to fill, they could certainly think about filling that in with one of our 2 semester hour courses. And again, no need to wait on this. If students want to start taking some of our classes in the fall, they certainly can. Handshake is our job and internship system. So some of your students may have already accessed at Handshake at this point, another free system for students to utilize. On Handshake, students can find on-campus jobs, including work-study positions. They can find local part-time jobs in the Iowa City area, along with internships and full-time positions. And so a more immediate need for utilizing Handshake might be if your student is looking for work on campus, and they can certainly be set up to work on campus right away. If they want something at the start of the fall semester, they can certainly find that. A lot of our offices and departments have a need for student employees, so they can access their Handshake account right now. They can do some searching. They can apply through the Handshake system. We also will have a student job fair at the start of the fall semester. It'll be that first Wednesday of classes. And a lot of places on campus will still be looking to hire at that time. So that will be a great opportunity just to connect with different offices and departments and just learn more about different opportunities. Internships really are becoming a crucial part of a student's career development. And more employers are really looking for students that have that internship experience or something similar. Not everything needs to be called an internship per se for it to be of value. So this can include research on campus, lab work on campus, field work, even within their courses. All of these are opportunities where students are able to apply what they're learning in the classroom setting and applying it to a real world and really utilizing those practical things that they've picked up and applying it to those real world settings. We receive internship listings with companies across the country and internationally. We have internship listings for all sorts of different majors. And so students can certainly use the Handshake system to locate those. But we also can inform students of just other resources and sites that they can utilize to find different listings. Students can do internships throughout the entire year. We have internships for fall, spring, summer usually is the most common time for a student to have an internship. Some internships are paid. Some are not. It really just depends upon the industry. But we do have, we call it our Hawkeye Experience Grant. It is a grant that students can apply for if they are pursuing those unpaid or kind of lower paid opportunities. And so students can apply for that to receive a stipend to cover some of the payment for that experience. We don't want students to not pursue those because they wouldn't be receiving pay for those. But certainly that can be a great conversation for a student to come in, talk more about those different opportunities that exist. Most internships are usually starting at that sophomore year or above. We have lots of different ways to connect with employers. We have about 600 organizations that actively recruit on campus. So that might be attending one of our career fairs, that might be hosting on-campus interviews, that might be having an information session for students to learn more about their organization. Our career fairs, we have two all major career fairs during the school year, one in the fall, one in the spring. Typically for those, we have anywhere between 150 to 180 organizations in attendance that are looking to fill those internship positions and those full-time positions that they have available. So those are great opportunities for students to start exploring different organizations, connecting with recruiters, starting that conversation about what it might look like to work with that organization. But we also have several other opportunities to connect with employers as well. One of my favorite offerings that we have available is our Career Trek program. And so this is an opportunity, almost like a little field trip for students to visit different organizations. The Career Center provides the transportation for those. And we visit local organizations, but also more kind of regionally Midwest organizations as well. And it's an opportunity for students to see what that company looks like, take a tour, meet with that professional staff, learn more about different internship and full-time job opportunities. And I think these are great programs for our younger students to think about, certainly as they're in those early stages of that career exploration, really figuring out what's that best fit for them. These are great ways where they can, again, just have that connection with employers, really see what the world of work looks like. And our career tracks are usually centered around a certain theme or a certain industry. So for this fall, we'll be visiting Des Moines to learn more about sports and recreation. We'll be heading out to Omaha for business and technology. We'll be going to Minneapolis for healthcare. And then later on in the semester, going to Chicago for arts, entertainment, and media. And so some of these trips, if they're overnight trips, which certainly something like Chicago, Omaha, Minneapolis would be those overnight trips. There's a minimal fee connected with those for that hotel stay. But if it's just a one-day trip, like our trip to Des Moines, that would not have a fee associated with that. And certainly there's lots of other details and information on our website about that. Another great way for younger students to connect with employers is through our Hawk Shadow program. This can be a great kind of easy way for students to be paired with a professional to learn more about what does that profession look like. Now, I should say any student at any point can have a job shadow with any type of employer. They certainly don't have to participate in the Hawk Shadow program to set up a job shadow. But our Hawk Shadow program is just more of that formal opportunity. It's offered once in the fall, once in the spring, and once over the summer. And students indicate where their career interests are. And then our employer relations team will match that student with a professional, again, just for like a 3-hour, 4-hour job shadow, where they're really getting more of an in-depth look as to what that profession looks like, and certainly that opportunity to ask a variety of questions. If students are interested in doing this for the fall, they certainly can do so. We will have information soon, if not already, on our website about the fall timeline. It does move pretty quickly once we start the fall semester, though. So if students are interested, I would say definitely go to our website, fill out the interest form, get the ball rolling on that. Of course, students don't have to do it right away. In the fall, they can certainly wait until the spring or the summer as well. The employers that you see here, just a small sampling of some of those organizations that we work closely with. As I mentioned, we've got relationships with a variety of organizations. Definitely some of those large corporations that we're all familiar with, but more of those mid-sized companies as well, all the way to small local nonprofit organizations. Our employer relations team will visit different organizations, tell them about Iowa students, tell them why those companies should be interested in hiring our students for internships and full-time positions. And if you are with an organization that is currently not recruiting at the University of Iowa and you have an interest in doing so, let us know. We love to develop new employer partnerships. And so you can certainly connect with us to learn more about what recruiting at Iowa looks like. And some of you might be wondering what Hawkeyes are doing after graduation, even though that's a long way away at this point. It is a great question to start asking. You can find that job outcome information on the Career Center website. You can access our employment dashboard where you can search by major and you can see what some of those job outcomes are. So what are some common organizations that are hiring that major? What are some common job titles that they're being hired for? Where are they living and working geographically? And what are they making in terms of a salary? It's not an exhaustive list by any means. It is dependent upon those grads to get back with us with that information. But it can be a great way to start answering that, what can I do with my major? And getting some very specific University of Iowa information in terms of where our grads are going in particular. So as I mentioned earlier, our goal is to make sure that your student is ready and prepared and feeling confident upon graduation. We don't want them landing on the couch after they graduate, and I'm sure you don't either. So, which is why it is even more important to really encourage students to utilize our services, be our cheerleader, make sure your students are aware of the different ways in which we can help them. And in summary, please feel free to take a pic of this slide as well. All the different ways where you might be able to provide assistance, things that you can encourage your student to take a look at or to get involved with or to do. We love for everyone to follow us on our social media channels. That is a primary way where we're announcing different things that we have coming up, career fairs, career treks, the Hawk Shadow program. So it is a good way to stay connected with our office. And again, students can start meeting with us right now if they choose to do so. Students do not need to wait until the start of the fall semester. So if students are feeling, again, maybe a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a little bit anxious, or they just want to get a head start on things, that can be a great opportunity to meet with a career coach and start that conversation. Or maybe it's just even getting started with my career path and kind of seeing what are some of these suggested next steps. But yeah, we've got lots of great ways to connect with us. As I said at the very beginning, we love it when students visit us early and we can really start to have a great conversation and get to know that student during their length of stay here at the university. So I will kind of conclude my talking portion of the presentation. And certainly I'll open it up if you haven't already. You can use the Q&A feature to ask additional questions if there's things that I haven't covered or things that you want more information about. Please feel free to place those in the Q&A. Yeah, looks like we've got one question right now. Do you assist with positions at the university hospital? Yes. So there's a lot of great patient care roles for students over at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. Most students will fulfill either those patient care tech roles or the nursing assistant roles. For either one, you do not need any type of certification. If you have a CNA, great, fantastic. But if you don't, that's not going to take you out of the running for either one of those positions. And that's a great way, again, for students to start gathering those patient care hours. Certainly, if they're looking at a health graduate program that would be requiring those, like something like physician assistant, that does want to see a certain number of direct patient care hours, or if students are just even exploring what patient care looks like, what healthcare looks like, working in a hospital setting, those can be great ways for students to get started with that. And so, yes, we certainly can help students locate those positions. They're not listed on the handshake system because they're not just primarily student jobs, since they're open to essentially everyone in the community. Students will find those on the Jobs at U Iowa site. And that's essentially the staff and university or staff and faculty site for the university. But yeah, we can always help students kind of walk through that process, give them that information on getting started. Okay, let's see. Question on how do you sign up for Hawk Shadow Career Treks and the Student Job Fair? Great question. So on our website, students will find more information about the Hawk Shadow program, about the Career Trek program, and so they can sign up for those opportunities through the website, or I think in most cases it might direct them to register on Handshake. But definitely you can utilize our website first, careers.uiowa.edu. For the Student Job Fair, they do not have to sign up at all. That is something that they can just show up for. There's no need to register for that in advance. Like I said, that will be held on the first Wednesday of classes. It's held usually in the main lounge of the Iowa Memorial Union. And yeah, again, that's a great way just to connect with those employers that are still looking to hire on campus if students want to start working during the fall semester. Any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other questions coming through. So I thank you for your time and attention today. As I mentioned, if you need anything over the summer months, let us know. We look forward to working with your students during the school year, and go Hawks!